Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So thank you very much for joining us today for this webinar. This is Kaza. I do work as a sales and business development manager at Avalon Software Services. I do look after new businesses from Middle East and USA region. So if you want to talk about business, I'm the right person. You can reach out to me. So before getting started, let me give a quick intro of what Avalon Software Services are and what are the capabilities. So we have been around for over a decade, delivering top-notch services to our clients, and we have got a talented team of over 200 plus professionals who are working across the globe, and we have successfully executed more than 90 plus projects and 30 plus cloud implementations globally till now. And our flexible service delivery model allows us to offer both offshore and on-site support and handle end-to-end projects. And as proud partners with Oracle and part of Vision Group of companies, we bring in a wealth of expertise and dedication to our projects. So, as I said, we are part of Vision Group, which is CMMI Level 3 certified company, which has more than 2 decades of experience with 500 plus employees working globally. And we both combinedly executed $1 billion worth projects while in value with 20 plus Fortune clients. And with these connections, we have access to a vast talent pool and expertise across multiple streams. So coming to our services, at Avalon, we offer a wide range of services from enterprise applications like Oracle, both in Fusion and EBS, to manage IT services, digital technologies, custom ERP, and expert consulting for implementations and upgrades, and also data preparation, infrastructure, and more. Coming to our global presence, we have our headquarters in USA, which is in Austin, Texas, along with our presence in Canada, Australia, India, UAE, South Africa, and the UK, ensuring that we are capable of catering our services worldwide. And we would love to be near to our clients and partners every time. And coming to today's webinar topic, which is Oracle Financials Cloud month-end processing. So we will try to keep this webinar fun and interactive. During the session, if anyone has any questions related to topic, feel free to drop them in Q&A section, and we will try to clarify them in between the topics. Now, without any delay, let me introduce our financial consultant, subject matter expert, and the presenter of this webinar, Mr. Banu Chandra. Welcome, Banu. You can take over from here.
Yeah, thanks, Funny. Thanks for your introduction and Avalon experience. So myself, Banu Chandra Peddi, I'm a functional finance consultant here on Avalon. So total, I'm having 7+ years of experience into Oracle Financials, and I've done multiple projects, which includes implementation, support, and rollout, and also worked on Oracle upgradations from 12th version to 13th version, and also having a delivery exposure to different regions, which includes Europe, Middle East, APAC regions, US region, and Latin American region also. So this is my professional experience. When it comes to my personal background, I just recently got married, and having a always like reading Oracle financial articles and other, which is a contracts. Hobby is nothing but a photography. This is my professional and personal background. Yeah. So when it comes to the topic we are covering in this webinar, so it is nothing but the Oracle Financial Cloud month-end processing. So all right, so month-end processing of the financial applications is nothing but in every month, once after Oracle product is implemented, so we're going to perform the month-end activities, okay, to ensure the accurate and timely financial reporting, which it also includes the closely monitoring of other departments for capturing all the transactions and reconciliation. And it also conduct the final review of all entries and reports to ensure accuracy before the closing the period. By adhering to our Avalon practices, organizations can achieve a smooth and accurate month-end close processing in Oracle ERP, which targeting the reliable financial information for decision making and regulatory compliance. So this is what the month-end processing we're gonna target in this session. This is what the introduction and overview and object of this month-end processing activities for the Oracle apps. So when it comes to the pain points, so one of the client had come to us we are lacking with the automation for that for downloading the reports in the month end. So for this, we had opted the robotic process automation for downloading the reports when we trigger the mail. This is what we had provided for the client, and also for the creation of statements and all this stuff. So we had a 2 full-time employees costing, and it is making a burden for the company. So for this also, we had standardized and automated the process for having the financial statement. Similarly, the lack of standardization and lack of defined process and defined data. So when to close and what are the sequences of Oracle applications to be closed and all this stuff we had given to the client in our past experience in Avalon. You move to the next slide, Fanny. Yeah. So when we see the items or checklist or whatever the tasks we are covering in this session, that includes the pre-closure activities and subledger closing, so which includes the AP closing, AR closing, fixed assets and inventory. So these are the only listed items, but if we choose the project costing and POs and cash management also, we can include that. And other than that, whatever the subledger are there, so that will be routed to general ledger for financial reporting purpose. And also once after financial reporting is done, we go for the review and adjustment, and that whatever the content is there and whatever the financial report, financial performance is there, that should be communicated to stakeholders and multiple folks, whoever belongs to the organization. So when it comes to the snapshot of this page in this slide, so you are able to see, right? So manual clearing. So when it able to see the vertical line, how the accounts payable manager, finance manager of US, where the host operations are done, and general accountant, and purpose of the event and type of the event. When it comes to updating, evaluating, posting, clearing, and reporting, this is how the process starts and happening in month-end level. Like you shown, right? So you can see how the process and how the flowchart is going on from updating to reporting. Yeah. Can you move to the next slide, Fanny?
Yes.
Yeah. So from the checklist point of view, here starts with the pre-closure activities. So these are the key activities that we should perform before closing of subledgers and main ledger, general ledger. Okay, so it starts with the review and resolving exceptions. Whatever the unprocessed transactions, errors or exceptions are there when we are trying to close the subledgers. Suppose example, if we take about the accounts payable module, so the business is trying to load the daily transactions via FBDA template. So it is happening a load error. So if we try to check the log file and sort it down as soon as possible, or else once after load is happening, we are having some create accounting errors, whatever the errors. So these are the types of errors when we see the log file and when we see the subledger execution exception report. So where we can see the issues and where we can fix the issues at the same time on AP closure itself. Okay, so once after review and resolving is done, then we go for a complete and approve the transactions for invoice, payments, and whatever the receipts are entered and approved. So apart from these invoices, we're gonna check the expense reports also, whether they are approved, whether they are audited, and whether they are routed to accounts payable and sent for the payment. So these are all need to be considered while performing the pre-close subledger. Okay, so then next we need to check the balances of accounts payable and we need to reconcile with general ledger. So whatever the accounts payable transactions, suppose example invoices are there, what needs to be paid, how much of a supply liability is decreased for this month, how much of liability we need to pay for this month. So we need to compare with the general ledger. So this is in Oracle system where we have a program called run payables to general ledger recon report, where we can see the variances between accounts payable and general ledger. If we're having any discrepancies, by the time we can see, and we can see the root cause and we can sort it out then itself. After and in this reconciliation part, we're having a bank statement also. Whatever the payment files are generated, that will be routed to bank through transmission configuration, and that payment files once after bank receives, and that will be sending out to Oracle system via host connection. And once after bank statements are loaded into Oracle system, we can reconcile through some rule sets. It is nothing but automatic reconciliation. So that is one of the feature we are having in Oracle system, where by setting the reconciliation rule set for respective bank accounts within a one go, we can reconcile the bank statement lines with system transactions. Once after we reconcile the APA and GL, or whatever the AR and GL and whatever the FA and GL, then we can go for validating the transaction. Like this is what the numbers we got in subledger, and this is what the numbers we got in GL. So we can download the AP trial balance and we can download the GL trial balance. If we're having any discrepancies, we can go for sorting out that as soon as possible. That is what the Oracle had provided the functionality. Can you go to next slide? Funny. Yeah. So the next step is subledger closing. Once after pre-closure activities are done, we had resolved the exceptions, we had reconciled the things, whatever the adjustments are there, whatever the posting is done in payables, then we can go for scheduling the session and organizing the payables close for one day. And similarly, one day for account receivable and one day for fixed assets and one day for inventory. So as is shown in the figure, so once the payable invoices are closed, then we can route for procurement, inventory costing, projects. Once after project information is filled up with the capital information or whatever the thing we chosen as per the client, then we can go for routing to fixed assets. And there, where in the info tiles, we can see this is what the number of assets created and this is what the number of assets in a new status, and then we can go for checking whatever the additions are there. Once after additions are done, we can go for running the depreciation for the month, and then we can close the GL period. Before closing the GL period, we can recon with the GL by having the report. And then this is how the recon happening and subledgers are closing between the subledgers. Once after this is done, we can go for general ledger. This is what the figure for subledger closing. So they have any questions from any participant, you can feel free to ask.
Yes, Mr. Banu, I do have a question from one of the audience. So the question is, what are the support options available for resolving issues during month-end close?
Okay, so we're having Oracle support services, that is nothing but my Oracle support, and Oracle consulting services, which is nothing but once after the Oracle product is implemented, we have an implementation assistance and training and education for the end users. End users are whoever are supporting the Oracle for month-end activities. And we also having the internal IT team and ERP support teams. And also we are having Oracle resources like Oracle Community, Oracle University, and we are also having a My Oracle Docs for documentation and for the step-by-step procedures.
Okay. I think that explains the question, and I can add more to that. So, as we are Oracle's service track partner, Avalon can support you in all the options with your month-end close.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Banu, you can continue.
Yeah. So once after the subledgers are closed, as you've seen on the figure, so all whatever the transactions are there from payables, receivables, and fixed assets, if you're having the projects also, that will be routed to general ledger once after create accounting is run in final mode in all subledgers. Okay, so then whatever the routed transactions are there in general ledger, so we need to post all the general entries. Okay, so then we're gonna run the revaluation for foreign currency transactions. Whatever the currencies are there, like suppose example, US is the host. US is the current. US is the country where the business is operating. If the suppose X is the client, so if X client want to operate the business and want to pay the currency in foreign currency, then we can go for this is one of the example for revaluation. So suppose example, a machinery was bought in March month and payment need to happen in April month. So in between these month, we have a month end at month end activity. Okay, suppose example March 15th is the invoice date and April 15th is a payment date. In between these dates, we're having a daily exchange rate fluctuations. To record these exchange rate fluctuation, we're having a functionality called revaluation, where we can enter these exchange rates to unrealized gain and loss account at month end level. Once after the next period is open, we can reverse the revaluation entries. Once the payment is done at payment time, whatever the exchange rate differences are there, they will be adjusted to realized gain and loss account. This is what the revaluation feature in Oracle product. And then once after revaluation is done, we can go for translation, and after translation we can go for allocation. So allocation is nothing but suppose example building cost is there. Suppose if you want to distribute the building cost to multiple shop owners or multiple departments, we have the Oracle feature. By creating the rule set, allocation rule set, we can define the we can define or we can configure the allocation sets, and then we can go proportionate and allocate the cost to multiple shop owners. This is what the feature we're having in Oracle product. Once after allocation is done, GL consultant and we go for controlling the periods. Like before closing or controlling the GL periods, make sure that all subledgers are closed and reconciled to GL. Then we can go for closing the periods. So like as you shown in the figure, opening the figure, opening the period, then converting the general entries for functional currency or foreign currency, and reviewing the general details, posting, revaluation, and translation for foreign balances, reviewing those balances, running the reports, whether it might be standard report or a custom report, and then closing the periods. This is what the cycle goes on every month, as shown in the figure. You move to the next slide, Fanny.
Yes.
Yeah. So when it comes to financial reporting, once after all the subledgers and general ledger, or the main ledger is closed, then we can go for creating the reports. It's nothing but the standard reports, whether it might be balance sheet, income statement, or cash flow statement, or trial balance, which shows the different purposes, objectives of this reporting structure in Oracle. Okay, so balance sheet, which shows the assets, liabilities, and the equity of the client, and also income statement, which shows the revenue, expenses, and revenue minus expense is nothing but the net income of an organization. And also it shows the cash flow statement, which is nothing but the cash inflows and outflows. What are the operating expenses? What are the operating revenues of a client? This will be shown. So and also trial balance, whatever the total credits and whatever the total debits. So if we are having any discrepancies, we can go for adjustment, and we can create a suspense account, as Oracle also supporting for the suspense account. And like as we shown in the figures, these are all the type of dashboards and info tiles and QBR, quick business review decks. Okay, so like income statement and like this is what the total revenue and the gross profit and operating expense as is shown in the figure. Okay, so where we can see what is the total revenue of the client and what is the total expenses, and that is nothing but the profit. And also from account receivable module, what are the customer balances that need to be come from customers, and what is the supplier outstanding, what are the payments that we paid for the current month, and what are the payables we're going to pay for the paid time. Like suppose example 1 to 30 days, what is the balance we need to pay? Suppose example for 30 to 60 days, what is the outstanding payable amount for the 30 to 60 days? This is what the parameters we can draw from transactions. We have the different type of dashboards and different type of info tiles, different type of visual boards. Based on the customer user preference, we can create these dashboard. Oracle had given the multiple opportunity to create the custom interface for this custom dashboard and all these stuff. Okay, so if the business need to create any reports that are not meeting through standard reports, then they can go for Oracle Financial Reporting Studio, where we can create a custom level report, and also can create custom reports based on their activities. Suppose example in the month-end activity, they need some custom. Suppose example X is their client, so X account analysis report, X trail balance report, something like that. So until here, do you have any questions, team?
Yes, Mr. Banu, we do have a couple of questions here. Question number 1, how about invoice approvals in case of account payables?
Okay, so yeah, so we're having a BPM workflow where Oracle is partnered with the BPM workflow, and later on it is merged into Oracle product. Like while creating the invoice, once after invoice is entered and created, then after validation, the invoice workflow is based upon the configuration and setup in BPM, whatever the serial or whatever the parallel or whatever the supervisor group we configured there. And based upon the setup in BPM, when we hit the button like go for the approval workflow after creating invoice, then it will be routed to that specific person. If that is mentioned in the any one of the suppose one of the rule is mentioned like this. Okay. So any group responder can approve this task. Okay, so this is what the task. This is what the feature we kept in the approval group. If we hit the button for generate go for approval coding workflow, then it will be routed to that, and who is the person involved in the approval group, whenever the person responds that, he can de-escalate, he can comment, and he can approve or he can reject the invoice. This is how things will happen for the approval workflow. Yeah.
Okay. So the question number 2 is, what are the common issues users face when generating month-end reports, and how can they be resolved?
Okay, so we're having a multiple issues like incomplete or inaccurate data. Suppose example, when we're trying to load the data, so instead of debit in they had kept the information on credit, so there is a mismatching between both the columns. They have tried to load in the system and the balances are mismatching, so we had reversed this and we had sorted at that time like incomplete and inaccurate data entry affecting the quality of reports, these kind of reports. And also we face the when we are having the vast operations and we are conducting closure on one day, so we are having data system performance issues at that time. Apart from this, we also having access and security issues when one of the supervisor or one of the accounts payable user or end user had resigned. So whoever lacking the access, we had granted the access at that point of time. These are the issues we faced when running the month end.
Okay. And the next question is regarding allocation in Oracle system, and they are asking an example of allocation in Oracle system point of view.
Okay, So allocation is nothing but, suppose example, if one building is there, so in that building we have, suppose X is a client, so X client is having a building which is having 10 departments. Okay, suppose 2 lakhs is a total cost of the rent. So if we want to distribute, if we want to allocate that total cost to multiple departments, we had a feature called we had a functionality called allocation, where by creating the rule sets, allocation rule sets, we can distribute that to multiple stakeholders by passing the allocation general entry. This is done at GL month and time.
Hope Mr. Banu has addressed the queries, and if you have any other questions or queries, keep them coming in the Q&A section and we will try to address them all.
Yeah. Going to next slide. Fine. Yeah. So once after the reporting is done, and we just need to review the financial statements. So by analyzing and verifying the key financial reports like trial balance, balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement, and perform variance analysis, reviewing the journal entries, reconciliation, adjustment entries. So and also financial ratios and metrics. So in one of my past experience, I have gone through the leadership, and they have suggested for having dashboards and creating the quick business review parameters, okay, to show the reports like how many invoices are paid and how many invoices are left, and how many general entries are posted, and how many errors we got, and how many bank statement lines are coming from bank portal. So these are all the quick business review points and parameter they asked, and we created for this. This is the custom requirement to showcase the leadership, like this is what, and this is what the benefits they had got. And also adjustments. So when we talk about the adjustments, once the month end activity is done, we need to have the adjustments. Like if we talk about the accruals, month end accruals, so recognizing the expense and revenues that have been incurred but not yet recorded. So for these accruals, we need to perform adjustment. And also, if you're having any foreign currency balances, like as I said before, once after month end is done, we need to reversal the revaluation entries. For performing this, also we need to adjust the entries. And also, if we talk about the bad debts, estimating and recording the potential uncollectible receivables. Okay. So suppose example, the business is expecting from a customer who have not responded, who have not paid beyond 90 days. They are expecting some amount, but they didn't got the particular amount when the time frame is happening. This also bad debts, and this is nothing with the provision of bad debt. This is also not happening at that point of time. For this also, we need some adjustments. By performing all these month-end adjustments, organization can ensure the financial statements are accurate and comply with the accounting standards. This is what the review and adjustments are happening at month-end time. Can you move to next slide, Funny?
Yes.
Until here, do you have any questions, team?
So, Mr. Banu, we do have one more question from one of our audience.
Okay.
What if there is any transaction which is pending and had to close the period? What we do in that case?
Okay, so a nice question. So there is one scenario in my past experience in AP time, in AP closure time. So we are having a high recommended approval from manager, but my manager is on leave for a particular time for a couple of 2 days. So what we done is, without the manager approval, we can't go and we can't post that activity, and we can't get the permission to close that activity at that for a current period. But so what happened? So we just sweep those transactions to next period, and we can adjust whatever the transactions are there for the next period. For this, we have a functionality called sweep accounting sweep unprocessed events to next period. This is what the program we have in Oracle functionality.
So hope we answered the query. So as of now, those are the questions, Mr. Banu. You can please continue. And if anyone have any other questions, please post them under Q&A section.
Okay. After reviewing the financial statements and adjustments done, so we need to communicate and archive the whole data, whatever the month-end reports like trial balance report, income statement, balance sheet, to compare. Like suppose example for quarter one, this is what the results we had got. For the quarter three, we need to compare for the quarter one. So like this is what the performance we had achieved when we compared to quarter one. So for these, we had a dashboards and info tiles and info LEDs and Oracle system. And also whatever the data we had kept for the future reference and audit purposes. And also we documented the whole closing process for the future references and whoever the person coming the next. So it is easy for them to review and have a quick reference for this. Yeah, that's it from my side. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in this session.
Yeah, Mr. Banu, we do have a couple of questions.
Yes, please.
So, what are the best practices for reconciling accounts in Oracle Financials Cloud?
So if we talk about the reconciliation part, suppose example, if we took the AP and GL, so where we having a option at a reconcile level, we have a report like a run payable to GL recon report. So with this report, we can see the discrepancies between AP and GL. If you have whatever the clearing account balances are mismatching, we can get into the particular account, and we can draw the account analysis report, and we can see what are the transactions happening from AP and what are the transactions happening in GL side. Then we can see the root cause and we can sort it out as soon as possible. This is what the recon for AP and GL. And if we talk about the bank statement reconciliation, whatever the payment files, whatever the system transactions are there, whatever the payments we made through AP accounts payable module, so that will be routed to bank through host through transmission configuration, and from that bank that will be routed to Oracle system through host connection. Okay, so here we have a functionality called automatic reconciliation. With the system transactions and bank statement lines, we can create some rules, tolerance rules and matching rules, where we can have the automatic reconciliation in one go. These are how the reconciliation happening in month end for Oracle Financials.
I think you have covered the question very well. And the next question would be, does Oracle incorporate user feedback into improving month-end processing features? If yes, how it's done?
Yeah. So for incorporating the user feedback in the month-end and also upgrades, we have the analytics, and based on the user behavior data. Suppose example, manager had come back and drawn a mail like, so we are having two full-time employees becoming a additional burden and having a cost for them. So to remove those two full-time employees and removing those burden, we had automated the system through RPA, robotic process automation. So this is one of the thing we had encountered in my past experience. And also apart from this, we had a Oracle support feedback also, and we have a direct customer feedback channels, and we also having a dashboard for this. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So before asking next question, I would request the audience, if you have any questions, please post them in Q&A session and we will try to answer them all. And the next question is, are there any upcoming features or enhancements in Oracle Financials Cloud that will further streamline month-end processing?
Yeah, so in the as I said, like we have a bank statement reconciliations. We have upcoming enhanced bank statement reconciliation, where we have inserted the advanced algorithm for matching the bank statement lines with system transactions, and also machine learning capabilities to improve matching accuracy. This is for automatic reconciliation. And when we talk about the reporting analytics, we have the advanced analytics and visualization dashboard. A separate team is working on that. And also, when it comes to the automation and workflow improvements, we have the auto close task. Suppose example, robotic process automation is attached for downloading the standard reports or whatever the custom reports, and also enhancing the workflow approvals. And also based on the user feedback, we also enhanced the user interface, and we personalize the dashboard also.
Okay. And the next question is, does Avalon support for resolving the issues? I think I can answer this question. Yes, Avalon do support the resolving issues, and yes, we do provide on-site and offshore resources, and yes, we can also do the end-to-end project takeover. So I think those are the questions. If there are any other questions, please feel free to drop in Q&A session. I think in the interest of time, we have to move, and it was such an insightful webinar. Thank you, Mr. Banu, for your amazing insights on the topic and sharing industry's best practices based on your experience. And thank you everyone for your attention and participation. So we are offering free health check to all the participants. To avail the free assessment, please write to us at sales@avalonsoftwareservices.com, or you can reach out to me at phanindra.k, which is phanintra.k at avalonsoftwareservices.com, and we can schedule a meeting. And if you have any doubts, queries, or want to talk business, please reach out to us at sales@avalonsoftwareservices.com. And to know more about our Avalon software and service offerings, head to our website, which is www.avalonsoftwareservices.com. And we will be running a webinar series on insightful content like this. So please look out for our LinkedIn page, which is avalonsoftwareservices.com, or you can visit our website for latest updates on webinars and events. And if you have missed our previous webinars or you want to rewatch this webinar, you can visit our YouTube channel. Just head to YouTube, type in Avalon Software Services, and you will find our channel. Feel free to subscribe so that you will never lose any update on our YouTube channel. And you can also follow us on Twitter for the latest updates. Our Twitter handle is avalonsoftwareservices.com. Thank you everyone for your valuable time. Look forward to connecting with you all.